Hooty hoo, all my stock market gamblers. Welcome today. I'm Tall Mike. I'm so glad you're here. Well, it's Monday. I love Mondays because the market's back open. What's going on today in the markets? Well, the Dow's down a couple hundred. NASDAQ's up about 60. The S&P sitting right around 4360. All right, so what's my take on this market? We've been down 3 weeks in a row, coming down. Now, my take is the market has a lot farther to fall, but we're very oversold and we're probably going to get a bounce back up. Now, in the S&P, I think that bounce is going to be up to the 4450 level, and then we'll come back down even more than we are now. We'll continue the downward fall. Now, today, we're oversold. We're going on the fourth week, right? So we've been down 3 weeks in a row. This is the fourth week. Now, I think we're going to get a little bit of a bounce this week. But the debt market is selling off, which means interest rates are still rising. They're still going up. Now, I do think today we're going to see the Fed come in and buy the debt market. That's just my take. Watch the TLT. The TLT will tell you if they're buying that market, if it rebounds from today. We're down big early, but I think we'll get a bounce back up in that market. Now, another place I'm watching is Apple. Apple is a stock that the Fed loves to buy. The Fed actually has a trading desk, and when the markets are starting to fall, the plunge protection team does come in and actually buy physical stocks, right? They buy the big ones. They buy the Apple, the Google, the Meta. They buy the biggest stocks to make the market go up. This is how the Fed plunge protection team works. You can Google plunge protection team. It's a real thing. The Fed has a trading desk. You can Google that. But they want this market not to free fall. And right now, 3 weeks down, they don't want to see a fourth week down. They want to keep it relatively high. They can do it temporarily. I don't think they can do it permanently. That's just my take. Your take may be completely different. I mean, so far we're down only about 6% on the S&P, about 8% on the NASDAQ, and we have a lot farther to fall. 6% and 8% off the recent high is nothing. I think the markets will continue lower after we get a little bit of a bounce. All right, let's move over to the real estate market. A couple things came out over the weekend. Redfin just came out and they said that prices of homes are starting to drop again. Now, we've been going up for the last 4 months. There's been an increase in the home prices, and that was kind of a seasonal adjusted thing. We were in the hot selling season, and for 4 months we've had slight upticks, but July has turned down again. Home prices are starting to fall again. Now, you'll notice that home sales, the volume is way down. It's way down about 23%. But now on new homes, the volume is actually up year over year, about 25% up. But this is interesting. So Toll Brothers, Lennar, all these home building stocks were hitting record highs, right? But recently they just started to break down. And here's the reason why now. Okay, here's the reason why. It's because buyers, the buyers going into the new home models, the traffic has dropped by about 10% month over month. The traffic is way down. Not as many people are coming through to look at the new homes now. So the new homes might start to take a hit also. But if you look at the stocks of Lennar, of Toll Brothers, they've already started to come down. Now, it's interesting. Now, I'm betting against these stocks. I'm on the short side of these stocks. But Warren Buffett just came out and said that he's buying these stocks. He has bought $700 million worth of these stocks. But yet I think he has bad timing on this one. Now, I have nothing against Warren. He's a great trader and he knows what he's doing. But these stocks are primed to come down. They're at record highs. That's not where I want to be buying them. I want to be shorting them. Now, we'll see how that plays out. They may get a bounce back and may even go higher. Maybe Warren has the right idea, but that's not my take. Now, a lot of times I'm a real estate broker, right? And I have a hard time explaining I have a seller right now, right? They want to sell their home. It's a little 1,400 square foot tract home. And where I live, those sell for around $2 million, right? Well, they want to sell theirs. They think it's worth 2.5 because that's once again what Billy Bob sold his for. Well, he sold at the top and they think that they want to get the same price as Billy Bob. But the recent sale in their neighborhood was 1.8. See, Billy Bob got out here at 2.5, and they recent sale is 1.8. But they think theirs will set a new record. They think they will become the new Billy Bob and hit 2.6. Now, if there's a bidding war, it's possible, highly unlikely, probably going to sell right around $2 million. Now, they're not going to be happy with that. Who are they going to blame? Well, the dumb realtor. You see, they think the realtor sets the price, and they think that Tall Mike can get them 2.6 is what they want. I don't think they're being realistic. I think they're going to be closer to 2, maybe just a touch above it. But they might be really disappointed if they're back at the 1.8, which was the last comparable comp in the neighborhood. So I have to educate the sellers that Billy Bob, he sold up here and he was a genius, right? But we are not at those prices today. Now, they think that if the Fed lowers rates, that houses will soar beyond those prices to Billy Bob and beyond. I don't see it that way. You see, history will tell you when the Fed lowers the rates that they're lowering the rates for a very important problem. And that problem is going to be unemployment numbers. Unemployment is going to spike upward. It's going to spike upward because we're coming into a recession. And coming into a recession is where the Fed will start to lower rates. But the Fed has a big problem here. They got a really big problem. You see that we're going into a recession and there's going to be a lot of job losses, a lot of this AI or artificial intelligence, a lot of robotics is going to replace a lot of jobs. I mean, it's fascinating. There was a McDonald's that opened in Texas, right? So they opened and they're all automated with conveyor belts and robots running it. Instead of 5 people working a shift, they only have 1 people working that shift, 1 person working that shift. They used to have 5. So they have 1 person working the whole shift, right? So that eliminates 80% of the jobs in that McDonald's. Now, McDonald's employs about, well over 1 million people in the world. And now if we wipe out 80% of the jobs just at McDonald's, I mean, that's a big loss of job. Now, those are not the people going out and buying a house. If you work for minimum wage at McDonald's, you're probably not a home purchaser. You're probably more in line of a renter, right? All right. But anyways, the Fed is caught in a very difficult situation because they're going to want to lower rates because we have a recession coming and unemployment rates will be going up. But they have a problem that inflation is still going to be high. Now, they think they've got inflation under control. I'll tell you, inflation is not under control. You don't believe me? Just go buy some groceries. It's really getting shocking every time I go to the grocery store. Normally, I'd hand them, a $20 bill for this small amount, and they go, no, it's 23, and now, all right, so now I know I need to hand them 2 20s, but just this time it was 42. I mean, prices just keep going up, so now I hand them 3 20s, right? I mean, and this is just a small amount of stuff. I don't buy that much stuff at this particular store, but the prices just start escalating, and anybody who buys groceries knows that I'm telling the truth. All right, so they have a problem. They're going to have inflation at a really high number, but yet they have to lower rates to match the unemployment and the recession that's coming, right? Well, people think that when they lower these rates, that the houses are just going to soar, and that's just not how it's going to work. When they lower these rates, prices of the homes are going to be dropping like a rock because of the unemployment, because that's going to force the inventory onto the marketplace. Now, the real estate agents, they're out there lying to you, right? I mean, they just look in your face and they just tell you these bold-faced lies. They tell you, well, look, if rates go down, right, then the prices are going to soar. So you're going to have to pay more, so you might as well buy now. That's what they tell you. You go, well, what if rates go up? Well, if rates go up, houses might come down a little bit, but your payment's going to be higher, so you want to buy now because you don't want to have to wait and have your payment be higher. Well, look, what if rates go up to 10, even 15%, right? Okay, that could send prices down by 50%, even though the payment might be up here if interest rates that got up to 15%. Mike, you're insane. Could never happen. Well, I do think that would be awfully high, but I do think we're going to reach 10% on mortgage rates. I believe that's actually going to happen. I do think it's going to send house prices a lot lower. The point I want to make is always buy the house at a lower price of the house, even if it's a higher rate, because the price of the house determines your property taxes. Now, it's very fascinating because you got, property taxes going up like this. You got insurance on the house going like this. You see, people think when they buy a house, they're locked in, their expenses will be locked in. They don't have no problem with rents going up. Well, what they got is the problem of houses going up and rents are actually starting to come down a little bit. So the homeowners are the ones that are having increased expenses, where the renters the expenses are actually kind of going down. But everybody wants to buy, right? Nobody wants to be a renter. I get that, right? Everybody wants to own a home. They want that white picket fence. They don't care if it costs them twice as much as renting. They just want to be a homeowner so they can go to the party with everybody else and say, I'm a homeowner. Well, home ownership is getting really expensive. Look at mortgage rates up at 7.3% right now. 7.3%. That's a 21-year high. We haven't been this high in 2 decades. Now, I will agree that 7% is a pretty normal rate. But here's the problem. What wasn't normal is for the Federal Reserve to hold rates at zero for 14 years. 0% for 14 years was very unnormal. And it created the bubbles. It created the bubbles in the stock market, the bubbles in the housing market. We just blew this bubble as high as we can. So yes, 7% is pretty normal, and 7% will be okay when home prices drop by 40 to 50% from here. Then 7% will be all right. But we're in a bubble right now, and at these high prices, high rates, it's unaffordable. Something has to give. The sellers, they still want the price Billy Bob got. I have trouble explaining to the sellers, not going to happen. But they're sure that they can get what Billy Bob got because they don't want to sell if they don't get what Billy Bob got. I go, great, you're just going to hold on to your house. You can make it a rental. A lot of people are doing that, and that's what's sending the rents lower. A lot of the inventory is turning into rental inventory because people get transferred, but they want to hold on to their 2.8%, so they started out as a rental. Now, it's not easy being a landlord, and a lot of people are going to find that out. These amateur landlords, it's not an easy job. I've done it most of my life. Renting homes is a dirty work. It's not easy. You get evictions, you get problems. There's management problems. They don't take care of your house. Things break, expenses go up, and you still have your mortgage payment, even if it's 2.8%. But a lot of these people that are making their homes rentals are going to get tired of being a landlord, and they're going to be dumping those onto the marketplace. Once again, that's just my take. Now, that's not the take of the Moon Boys. Oh, no. Moon Boys will tell you prices are never coming down because there's never going to be any inventory ever again. Inventory is going to be permanently low and prices to the moon. Gotta love the Moon Boys. They always leave me those comments. Now, another comment that was in the comment section a while back. It said, hurry up and buy now because you're getting older and you don't want to be old and homeless. Well, look, you could buy now, and I'm not going to stop you from buying now. Matter of fact, I'd sell your house if you were a client of mine. Look, buying or selling is an individual decision. Now, if you want to buy up here at the top and you don't mind being a bag holder, I'm not going to be the one to stop you from doing it, okay? I mean, that's an opportunity. That's an alternative. The other alternative is to sit back, rent for temporarily, right? I mean, I'm not saying to rent for your whole life. I'm saying to rent for right now because it's about 50% cheap, over 50% in my areas. Some areas rent's only about 30% cheaper, but eventually this will get back to normal where it makes sense to buy again. It just doesn't make sense to buy right here. Prices are elevated, rates are elevated. Why would anybody want to buy? Look, people are stuck in their homes right now, and these are their forever homes. Well, why do I say they're forever homes? Well, look, there's people that live in McMansions, right? And they're older people like myself, and the kids have left the house and they want to downsize, right? But when they downsize, their payment goes up. You see, they still have a mortgage on that McMansion because they kept refining, pulling money out, sending the kids to college. They still have a big mortgage. So even if they downsize, their payment goes up because they're locked in at 2.8. So they're stuck in their big McMansion. Now, if you want to upgrade, let's say you bought a starter home. My starter home would not be the home I want to finish my life out in. There's no way I would have. I would have been a little upset with that. But people today are stuck in starter homes. They can't upgrade, right? Because if they upgrade, they lose that 2.8%, plus they're paying more for the bigger house, and plus they're paying a 7.3% mortgage. So there's no way to upgrade. So real estate's kind of at a standstill right now. Something's going to give. What do you think that is? I think it's prices. I'm pretty sure it's prices. It could be incomes. Could be income. Maybe that one person that's working at that McDonald's shift gets 5 times his income because he's doing, replace the other 4 jobs. Maybe they give him part of that take and his pay doubles. I suppose that's a possibility. If income's doubled, then prices probably won't have to come down 40 or 50%, but I don't see it playing out that way. It's a possibility, but that's just not my take. My take is prices are going to drop 40 to 50%. You're already seeing sellers are starting to slash their prices. Like, for example, my client, they're going to start their price. I'm going to have a hard time of telling them it's going to sell for around $2 million. I know they're not going to list it down here at $2 million. They're probably going to list at 2.3. Maybe I can talk them down to that, right? And they're hoping that it gets bid up and they become the new Billy Bob. But look, they're going to be slashing that price, 2.3. They get no offers, 0 offers. Guess what? Eventually, I'm going to be able to talk them off the ledge. They're going to have to come in. Look, it come down to 2 million. And I don't want to come down to 2 million. Billy Bob got 2.5. I know, but let's put it on at 1.9 and then we'll get the offers and maybe we'll get 2 million. They're going to be very disappointed. There's going to be so much disappointment out there. You see, they still believe that they can get the price Billy Bob got. In my area, there's no way that's going to happen unless we get a miracle. Miracles do happen. I'm a religious man. I believe in God and I believe in miracles. But I just don't believe their house is going to sell for that much. Because you look at the comps, you got to be realistic, right? Okay, so I'm going to talk them down and hopefully I know they have to sell. Otherwise, I wouldn't even take this listing. If they didn't have to sell, they'd be sitting there waiting to get Billy Bob price and it's not worth my time and effort. But I know they have to get rid of the house, so eventually they will come down. That's just how it plays out. Anyways, I got a little talkative today. It's Monday. Get out there, everybody. Have a great Monday, but first give me the thumbs up. Why not? Why not? Get out there, everybody. Enjoy your day. I'm Tall Mike. Bye-bye now.